Hello and welcome to your 12th HTML and CSS crash course. In this tutorial, we're going to be talking about CSS columns. Now, in the CSS introduction, I mentioned that CSS has a new column module. So that's what we're going to be learning today. So create a paragraph tag and type in lorem. So lorem should generate a dummy text for you. Lorem, then click enter. Okay. So we're just going to break these lines so you can see everything. Okay. Save this and let's just open it with the browser. Okay, so this is the text. So we're just going to duplicate this. So Ctrl D, Ctrl C, copy, and you paste it over here. So we want the text to be much, so let's paste it again. Okay, so go back to your browser and you should have something tangible. Let's just paste it one more time. Okay, so we have something tangible. Now let's go to our CSS. So select the paragraph tag. We're not giving it a class for this video, so give this a width of 100 pixels, or let's say 1000 pixels rather. Now next thing is to give this a background color of aqua. Okay, and give this a padding, or let's just give this a color first so you can see what we're doing, of white, which is FFF, the hexadecimal color. So go back to your browser, you should see your text and the background color. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is to give this a padding of 20 pixels. Now let's go back to the browser to see the effect of the padding. So you can see it moves the text and makes it inside the container. Okay, inside the 1000 pixels width. So it's moving it to the center in all sides. So 20 pixels padding to the left, top, right, and bottom. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, okay, let's give this a border. So say border 1 pixel solid black. Black is hash 000. So save, go back to your browser, you should see the border. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to add a column count. Column count of, let's say, 3. Okay, so you can see it separates the single paragraph tag into 3 different columns. Okay, so let's see what will happen if it were 2. Set it to 2, separates it to 2 columns. Okay, so you can see it separates the text to 2 columns, not in any particular order though. Okay, not in any specific order. So what if this isn't working on your browser? Okay, what if your browser doesn't support this particular CSS function? How do we do that? Okay, well, so we simply go there and say Webkit column count and we set this value to 2, which is the same value as this. So Webkit is to allow your CSS functions run on your browser, on your Chrome browser. So if you were to use Mozilla, for example, so you say moz column count and also set the value to 2. So make sure they all have the same value. So when you go back to your browser, you can see it's set to 2. So let's, okay, let's make this 3. Okay, so go back to your browser and you should see it sets it to 3 different columns. Okay, 3. Let's try setting it to 5. Okay, let's say 5. Okay, just for practice. So you can see it separates it to 5 different columns. Okay, not in any particular order though, but you can see they all stop at the same line because of the padding. So you can see starts from this line, this exact height. So you can see everything works perfectly. So go back to your browser, okay, and make this 3 to your CSS file rather. Okay, CSS file. So now the next thing we're going to do is to try to add some style to the gap. Okay, so let's say to the column. So let's say we want this to have a certain gap. Okay, so certain gap because we feel they're too close to each other. Oh, we've not saved it. Save this and go back here. So let's say we want to give the small space because they're so close to each other. Okay, so how do we do that? So we simply go over here and say column gap, and we set this to 100 pixels. So you can see there's more space in between the 3 different columns. Okay, so this is looking way better. So as I said earlier, if this isn't working on your browser, all you need to do is to add Webkit column gap and set it to the same value. And if you're using Mozilla, set it to Moz column gap and set the same value to it. Okay, the same value. So let's go back to the browser and you should see nothing has changed because it's working perfectly fine on this browser. So now the next thing we want to do is to try to add lines between these 3 columns. Okay, these 3 columns. So normally I would say we should add a border, right? But it's just a single paragraph tag. So the border is going to be outside this width, this 1000 pixel width of the border of the paragraph. Okay, so it's going to be outside the paragraph, not within the paragraph. So what if we want to set it within the paragraph? How do we do that? Okay, so go over here and say column rule style column rule style, and we set it to block. Okay, so it's not working. Let's check. So I've gotten the error, the mistake we made. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this style. So it's column rule. Okay, so we're going to make this block and 2 pixels, and the color should be black. Okay, black. So refresh. Okay, now like I said, if it's not working on the browser, add a Webkit column rule block. No, it's not block, sorry. Okay, double or dotted. Let's use dotted. Okay, so dotted, 2 pixels, and it should be black. Okay, so when we go back to the browser, you should see the line, the dotted line. So what if we want to make it a single line? I think that should be solid. Okay, yes, solid. Okay, so yes, so that's what we do to make the column. Now you can add a margin to this. You can wrap it in the div, add a margin to it to move it to the center and have fun with it. So that'll be all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.